Goalkeepers. Now, far be it for me to talk about the art of goalkeeping, that's not what it's about. 3 years ago, I was approached by the first goalkeeper to do some mental stuff, and I didn't know if I could help him, because ultimately it is a different position. But I know what I know about pressure and fear, and I was at the other end of the pitch. I was paid to score goals. But then I'm thinking, okay, so I'm getting boos and groans when I miss the target. They're getting boos and groans when they concede one into the target. So there is a similarity there. So when I started working with the first goalkeeper, and now 3 years on, I've worked with 5 or 6, it's all the same stuff. I want to talk about it a little bit. What are the fears? There's a couple: coming for crosses, distribution. You know, if you look at Man City and you look at when they signed the goalkeeper to play out from the back, and it was that Joe Hart thing with Pep Guardiola. Is Joe Hart good enough to play out the back? There's a whole one about good enough to play out with the feet. I always smile at that. I've discussed it with many goalkeepers. It's courage. Jordan Pickford at his best has got courage to play out the back, because it's not a technical thing. The scariest thing on the pitch is the ball. If you're a goalkeeper and you're miss-kicking balls and putting their centre forward in, you're going to be in trouble. But most of you can play. So again, it's looking at fear. It's doing a deep dive into it and going, I'm scared of passing the ball out from the back. You might get the shouts from the touchline, play long, but you'll go, no, I can see a pass. Be you. Look at fear. Distribution is one of them. Kicking, throwing. Another thing's coming for crosses. Again, I've had it with goalkeepers. When we really start doing the fear work, they're like, you know, I used to spend hours before the game, cross. Day before training, 50 crosses. It's all fear. I've been catching crosses for 20 years or 15 years. I can catch a cross. And I said to them, come on, man, you can catch a cross. Yeah, stay on top of it, but you're dangerous. You're now into the golf throughs. You need to hit 500 balls. Just hit 10, hit 20, hit 100. Why are you hitting 500? Johnny Wilkinson, 500 kicks. It's all fear. You can kick in your sleep. You can catch in your sleep. It's fear. So I want to talk about all these areas to being a goalkeeper. Fear grips you. What's the fear? You've made some mistakes. One's gone through your legs, under your arm. You've conceded goals. I'm a centre forward. I've missed 2 sitters. Because you as keepers know one thing. You don't know what it's like to, one hits you on the shin that's played across from here and you balloon it past the post. And the fucking moans, and you look at the dugout and the people are throwing clipboards down, and because you've cost the team a point, especially if you're doing it in the last minute. So I know goalkeeping's different, but I empathise with it. It's fear. And when we overthink something, we're fucked. The days where I think about being a centre forward, it would be said to me, make the runs across the near post, make the back post, make middle of the goal, always get in the 6-yard box. Fucking too much. And I'd never score when I did that. I'd never score. I never thought about that stuff when I was growing up. That becomes subconscious, because from 10 to 18, when you're being skilled in the academy, you learn how to be in your position. You learn how to be a fullback. You learn how to be a centre forward. You don't need to start mastering the art of the near post. It'll just happen. Instinct, but that takes the greatest courage. The more thinking, and I played in games, make the near post, it will happen. And when I was just letting things unfold, and you get it in, you pop it off, you set it, you make a run, oh, bang, goal, and you're running off going, fuck, I don't even know how I've scored there. Like, not even thought about that. You're 10 minutes into the game. After the game, everyone's like, what a performance today. What have you done? Instinct. So I think there's a huge danger with overthinking. Now, we all know that and we talk about it, but again, I want to dig deeper into it. But what I've realised since I've used the word fear as a fear coach is that people have never thought about it as fear. So maybe you're watching this going, I never saw it as fear. It is fear, goalkeepers. You are afraid. You've had trauma. When I realised after my career, I went through PTSD. It's PTSD, this industry. And I used to think, well, you've got to be a war veteran to go through PTSD. But I realised, no. Trauma, missing goal after goal, being shamed for it by everyone. Being on the bench and that little, I'm just going to rest you this week. You're not being rested. You've been dropped because of fear. Fear has dominated you. Fear has stolen your talent out here. And now the manager's got to make a decision. Most managers don't know the fear. So they're just going to go, yeah, he's lost a bit of form. You don't lose form. Fear grows. So I want you to be super aware of your fear as goalkeepers, as strikers that we're talking about, and smile at it. And then you've got to stare at the mind. Fear will not fucking get me today. Fuck that. And that's what I'm talking about. So for you, as goalkeeper, that's what you're fighting. When you're in this box, fear. Say it yourself, fuck fear, fuck fear. This is what you have to go through. So centre forwards, goalkeepers, it's all of this stuff. Start staring stuff down and be aware that, again, fear is stealing your potential.